there has been a lot of confusion as to what is Japa and what is Kirtan. I have the different books here with me today to share with you what Srila Prabhupada says is Japa and what is Kirtan. So if we want to learn the absolute truth, then we have to learn from the Shastras. There is no other way that we can learn what is the absolute truth if we do not refer to the Shastras. So it is very important that we hear what the Shastra says and we follow. I will try to assist you as much as possible on how to chant, and I would like to clear some understandings about chanting this Maha Mantra. Okay, now first I'm going to read from the Nectar of Devotion what Srila Prabhupada terms as Japa. The Nectar of Devotion is a book written by our Goswami, and the chief of them is Rupa Goswami. When a mantra or hymn is chanted softly, that is called Japa. The same mantra when chanted loudly is called Kirtan. For example, the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When uttered very softly, only for one's own hearing, it is called Japa. The same mantra, when chanted loudly for being heard by others, is called Kirtan. The Maha Mantra can be used for Japa and Kirtan also. When Japa is practiced, it is for the personal benefit of the chanter. But when Kirtan is performed, it is for the benefit of all others who hear. So one has to understand that Japa has to be chanted very, very softly so that only one can hear. And if you're chanting Japa loud, then actually it is called Kirtan. So this understanding has to be very clear. What is Japa and what is Kirtan? And if one is chanting Japa, he is chanting for one's personal benefit. Whereas Kirtan, it is for the benefit of others as well. So this is the first point we've got to understand about Japa. So another very, very important point, because today is Lord Balaram's appearance day, and as I explained, that he is our Adi-Guru. So we have to understand that he is the original Guru, and we have to understand what is Guru. And now I'm going to also share with you from the scriptures what Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport and what Lord Krishna, what he says, who is Guru. This is another important point a lot of people don't understand. Okay, now I'm going to read from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 34. Tad vidi pranipatena pariprashena sevaya upadikshyanti te jnanam jnanas tattva darishana. Translation: just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. What's very important here, the understanding is that the Guru must be self-realized. And I found that lots of people don't really know what self-realization means. Self-realization simply means that one who has realized the self. Basically, you are the soul. So, one who has realized the soul, one who has realized who one is, then that means one is self-realized. So to be a guru, one has to be self-realized. That means one must understand the self. That means I've realized the self. So if one does not know who one is, then how will you be able to teach others who they are? So you have to know who you are, what is your spiritual form, what is your service, And in this way, by your own realization, that is self-realization, you will be able to impart knowledge, true knowledge, not theoretical knowledge, but real knowledge to others. This is also a very, very important point, that we have to first see whether we have got a real guru or not. Guru is not somebody that is rubber stamped, oh, I am guru, I am an elected guru by some institute. No, that is not guru. Guru is defined in the scripture as one who is self-realized. So this is very, very important that we understand if the guru is self-realized. So someone may ask me, how do we know? No, you will never know as a conditioned soul whether a guru is realized or not. But by association of the guru, by his activity, by the way he controls himself, by the way he conducts himself, and after some association over a period of time, like Sanatana Goswami said, before a guru accepts a disciple, or before a disciple accepts a guru, they should study each other for at least 1 year in close association. Then one can understand the guru, and in this way, the guru can also understand the disciple. So the both have to understand one another. The next point regarding guru is explained in the scriptures that to find a self-realized guru is absolutely rare. You cannot just find a self-realized guru, because a self-realized guru is extremely rare. And this is another important point. Even more rare is to find a true disciple. So even more rare than finding a self-realized guru is to find a true disciple. So therefore, the guru also has to be careful before taking on a disciple, because the disciple also has to be qualified. Just as the guru has to be qualified, the disciple also has to be qualified. Okay, now I'd like to touch on another point regarding chanting of the holy names. Firstly, we have to understand that this holy names was taught and propounded by Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself. And who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Gauranga Mahaprabhu is a combination of Radha and Krishna. He is the original person. So when he says, Chaito Darpana Majana, we should chant to cleanse our heart, then we can understand that this must be the process. So this is explained in the 8 verses that he left us, called as Shastaka. So in the first verse, he explains that we should chant the pure name of Krishna. So that's why he says, all glories to the pure name of Krishna. So the question may arise, has Krishna got an impure name? No. Krishna's name is always pure. But one can chant the name with offenses. So this means, this is not the pure name. Offense means aparad. So chanting the name with offense is called Nam Aparad. And chanting the name without offense is called Shuddhanam. That is the pure name. So one may understand this point as well. What is Nam Aparad and what is Shuddhanam? Therefore, we were taught from the very beginning of our process, especially those of us who have been in ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, that we every morning after Mangal Aarti, we had to recite the 10 offenses against the holy name. Many people recited it like parrots, but that won't give you knowledge. You have to recite it with feeling and understand what you are saying. So this is another important point I want to explain, that you have to know what the 10 offenses are. You have to study the 10 offenses and apply the 10 offenses. So if you want to chant Shuddhanam, then it has to be offenselessness chanting, that means without offense. So this is very, very important in today's guidance, explaining about Japa, explaining about offenses, because Harinam refers to offenseless chanting. If you are chanting with offenses, then this is Nam Aparad. So this is not Harinam. And this is also very clearly explained in the scripture written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Jaiva Dharma. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually explained that the Jaiva Dharma is the cream of all the books he has written. And I can assure you that if you read the Jaiva Dharma, you will get lots of insight into the questions that you may be asking yourselves even right now. The important book to study is the Jaiva Dharma, especially the first two sections. The third section is a little more difficult because it deals with Rasa Tattva, and unless one is qualified, one can read that section. But the first two sections one should read and understand thoroughly. In fact, one should read it at least 10 times to get a proper understanding of the true path of really what is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not just a word. ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. But consciousness means being conscious of Krishna, not an institution. Institution is one thing and consciousness is another thing. So one may not be living in the institution, but he may be Krishna conscious. And one may be living in the institution and not practicing Krishna conscious. So who is really ISKCON? Obviously, the person who is practicing Krishna consciousness, he is ISKCON. So many of you, I know, who don't live in the ashram, is members of ISKCON. Because why? Because you are really Krishna conscious. And I've seen over the period of time that there are many members, they're not in the institution, but they are ISKCON. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, he explained this point. Once, his first female disciple, Yamuna Devi, she's the one who sings the Govindam prayers that we hear every day in ISKCON. She's the one. And she asked Srila Prabhupada about ISKCON. And Srila Prabhupada explained that if any two persons are discussing about Krishna and chanting Krishna's name, they are ISKCON. So this is another important point. I have to mention who is ISKCON and who is not ISKCON. So ISKCON is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So one is conscious of Krishna, then you are definitely ISKCON. There's absolutely no doubt. Not that you have to belong to an institute, not that you have to wear these markings like tilak, dhoti, kurta, or as a lady as a sari, then you are a devotee. Also, another important point that a lot of people don't understand, what is a devotee? I remember also when I joined, I was called a devotee. I wasn't a devotee, I didn't even know, but just because I took a tilak, put a dhoti, and a kurta, I was regarded as a devotee. That's not a devotee. Actually, a devotee is explained in the scripture that a devotee is one who has realized Krishna as a devotee. And one who is trying to realize Krishna is called a saddhaka, apprentice. He's trying to realize. He is not realized. So don't fool yourself and think that just by putting a tilak, a dhoti, a kurta or a sari that you are a devotee. No, that is absolutely not a qualification of a devotee. A realized soul is a devotee. So one must also understand that. Who is a devotee and who is a sadhaka. So most of you are sadhaks. You are practicing. Once you have realized the Lord, then, yes, then you are a devotee. Now I'm touching on the main points. Another point that I like to touch is, this point is brought up when Gauranga Mahaprabhu was asked the question, who is a Vaishnava? And Gauranga Mahaprabhu explained the Vaishnava in 3 different years. The first year he explained that anyone who chants the name of Krishna even once, he is a Vaishnava. And in the second year he explained that a person who is always chanting Krishna's name is a Vaishnava. And in the third year he explained that just by seeing a Vaishnava, one starts to chant the name of Krishna. So this may be a little bit confusing. Now, who is a Vaishnava? whether one who chants the name once, whether one who constantly chants, or one who just by his association can make you chant the name of Krishna. There's another point that I'd like to raise today. Actually, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu explained chanting the name of once as a Vaishnava, it's referred to the pure name of Krishna, Shuddhanam. So if you are chanting Shuddhanam even once, you are a Vaishnava. And then second is those who are always chanting. And the third is just by association of a Vaishnava, one will make the name of the Lord dance on your tongue. The holy name will start dancing on your tongue. That's what he meant. Not that, somebody sees you on the road and because of your tilak and your dhoti or your sari or your neck beads or whatever, and people say, Hare Krishna. So now we say, I'm a great Vaishnava. See, just by looking at me, one has said, Hare Krishna. No, Prabhu, that is not what is meant by one just seeing you. No, when the holy name of the Lord starts to dance on your tongue, then that means a Vaishnava. So these Vaishnavas are mentioned in these three categories. These three categories are namely kanishtha. That means even a kanishtha, he has to chant the pure name. And one who's constantly chanting the pure name is the madhyama adhikari. And the third one is the uttama adhikari. Just by seeing the uttama adhikari and by getting his association, the Lord's name will dance on your tongue. This is a proper understanding.